Fellas, this is some of the best synergy I have seen in a really long time. Now, for some of you that don't know who I am, my name is Aztecross. I like to make a lot of review videos for weapons, but really, our passion is for the builds, boys. That's what we love here on this channel. We like to take certain exotics, certain perks and traits, and combine it with certain things in our subclasses and give it a funky name. So today, boys, we are taking the exotic chest piece, Starfire Protocol, merging it with the new exotic hand cannon, Lumina, and combining it with the Well of Radiance subclass. So ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Noble Protocol. It was either going to be Noble Protocol or Starfire rounds. I have not decided exactly what we're going to go with, but Noble Protocol seems to be the name we want to go for, boys, because we're not just taking advantage of Noble rounds, but it definitely plays a significant role here. So first up, guys, let's go over the chest piece Starfire Protocol. Now, to my knowledge, this chest piece is purely an RNG drop from pretty much anything. I think Zer may have sold it not too long ago. Don't worry if you missed out, I did too, which is why we're on Les's account today. But essentially, it comes with the exotic intrinsic perk Fusion Harness. Fusion grenades have an additional charge and recharge from empowering weapon damage. Fusion grenade kills grant rift energy. Now, Starfire Protocol does not get a lot of love here inside of Destiny 2, but back in Destiny 1, it was used for sure, especially considering how nasty sticky grenades were back then. But since sticky grenades cannot kill in one hit, or fusion grenades cannot kill in one hit, they're not really utilized much inside of PvP. But in today's build, we're actually going to be combining it with Lumina and its exotic perk, as Lumina grants us the exotic perk Noble Rounds, kills with the weapon, leave behind remnants. Absorbing a remnant converts your next hipfire shot into an ally-seeking noble round and partially refills the magazine. Now, significance here is that when you use that noble round on an ally, you give them the Blessing of Sky trait, which both heals them and gives them a weapon damage bonus. And again, inside of something like PvP, this is actually a 19% buff, and inside of PvE, this is a 35% buff. But the beautiful thing about that noble round, the moment it comes into contact with an ally, not only does it give them the Blessing of Sky buff, but it also procs the perk Benevolent Dawn on the Well of Radiance subclass, which states healing or empowering allies regenerates your grenade, melee, and rift energy. Guys, this is extremely significant, as previously the only way to proc this perk was either by taking advantage of Divine Protection, which converts your grenade into a blessing which heals your targets and gives them an overshield, or if you actually heal your allies with a healing rift or a Well of Radiance. You never had the opportunity to take advantage of something like Benevolent Dawn with simply your weapon. So the result here, guys, is essentially infinite fusion grenades. Now, there's two directions we can go with these fusion grenades. You can either get kills with fusion grenades, which is not the easiest thing to do in PvP, but if you happen to just prime up a few targets here and there, slap a fusion grenade to their face, you can then just walk away, and of course, getting a kill with fusion grenades will grant you rift energy. But if you're really trying to take advantage of the synergy that we're trying to propose here with Noble Protocol, the cycle that you should be following is actually converting this grenade into a Divine Protection, dropping it for all of your teammates, proccing Benevolent Dawn, while simultaneously pushing into every engagement with you and your entire fire team having an overshield, or at least anyone that happens to step on your Divine Protection. Again, you drop it on the ground, you can pick it up, you get an overshield, and so can anyone else that decides to go through and pick it up. Now, having this overshield, you obviously have some extra health here, which is going to give you the upper hand in the next gunfight. You win the gunfight with something like Lumina, which will then grant us a noble round. And now once we have a noble round, oh, it's on. You can do whatever you want here at this point, boys. Before entering a gunfight, you can actually throw down another Divine Protection, which will grant you and your allies another overshield, shoot a noble round at an ally, which will now give you and them a weapon damage buff, and proceed to push into your enemies and kill everyone. You see how the synergy works. All of this that is happening, you are dipping into this subclass and granting yourself energy for all your things, your melees, your rifts, your grenades. Again, like I said, this is some of the best synergy I've seen. And we're not even done there. For those times that you do want to get kills with a fusion grenade, rock something like Enhanced Ashes to Assets. You'll get a super in no time. For those situations where you need to heal up some of your allies with a rift, rock a trait like Enhanced Bomber, which gives us even faster grenade cooldown when you use your class ability. On top of that, again, like I said, when you drop a rift and you start healing one of your allies, Benevolent Dawn procs again. The cycle continues, boys. And if you want to get even further with it, you can rock something like Impact Induction. Causing damage with melee attacks reduces your grenade cooldown. And of course, you can get this enhanced as well. And again, if you happen to get a melee attack off, just a melee attack, you don't even have to get a kill. You proc Guiding Flame, which burns your enemies, but also empowers you and nearby allies. And this also dips back into Starfire Protocol, as doing more damage with an empowered weapon recharges your grenade. It's mind-boggling how everything is just tying into one another. Starfire Protocol, a long-lost forgotten exotic here inside of Destiny 2, has finally made its way back, boys. So fellas, if you are looking to be the ultimate support class inside of PvP, Noble Protocol is for you, boys. It's it, man. It's nasty. You want to grant you and your team an overshield in every single engagement, especially in something like comp? Here it is, boys. And this is not a hard build to utilize, but I will say, not everyone will be able to master this build. The skill ceiling for this build is crazy insane. And the players that actually take the time to get this build down, your team is gonna love you, man. Like Les was on my account, and I was just feeding him orbs constantly and constantly giving him overshields. He was popping supers, and I was giving him overshields even when he was in a super. So you can imagine something like this in a competitive environment, how vital it will become for future teams. That one guy in the team that's gonna be constantly healing everyone, and when he does get kills, he's also gonna have the ability to give people weapon damage buffs. So boys, I'm in love. Try it out today, fellas. Again, Starfire Protocol, merge it there with Lumina. Find you some enhanced perks, Enhanced Bomber, Enhanced Ashes to Assets, Enhanced Impact Induction. You could possibly try it with like Momentum Transfer as well, and it will work wonders for you. And for PvE, this is something that can be utilized for PvE. I know we're focused more on PvP with this build, but for PvE, yes, 100%, this build can be utilized. The problem is, there's not many activities that is pushing us to the point where we need a designated healer. But if this is any indication to what may be coming in Shadowkeep, we may actually need it for those future activities. Now, one thing I do want to mention before I let you go, if you happen to throw a Divine Protection down on someone while they are standing in your Well of Radiance, it will not proc. As in, the overshield doesn't stay when they leave the Well of Radiance. So if you're gonna do a Divine Protection, throw it outside of your Well of Radiance. Let them pick it up there. I'm pretty certain that they will keep their overshield even if they re-enter the Well of Radiance again, but you just want to make sure you throw it outside of the well. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.